Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to Robot Boy. And in this video, we're going to be taking a very special first look at No Man's Sky Next. Yep, that's right everyone. Finally, the brand new update for No Man's Sky is out and in the wild for everyone to enjoy, now including Xbox players. And oh my, what an update this is. Apologies for the delay with this video. I know this was the worst week to lack video uploads, but I was away on holiday celebrating my girlfriend's graduation. And then when I got back, I got hit with the worst heat stroke ever and was basically a bedridden potato for the last few days. But now I'm back and I'm ready to give you my initial thoughts on the update. So first things first, if you're an Xbox player or even a PS4 or PC player new to the game after hearing the overwhelming positive response to the update online, welcome, hello. You've joined an amazing community of fans, content creators, artists, players, and general lovers of the game. We've been riding the bad waves for 2 years, but obviously nowhere near as bad as Hello Games have been having it, but oh my, what a turnaround. I think this might be one of the greatest turnarounds in gaming, and maybe I'll make that into another video later on. But for now, I've played a few hours of the update. I've played a normal save mode from the beginning, started a new save, and my mate even picked up the game as well, so we could experiment with multiplayer together and expand our own colony. I've dabbled in most of the initial setup content the game has to offer, and I've also dipped into creative mode as well, just to quickly explore the full extent of what the new unlimited base building has to offer. There's a lot to discuss, so much that I don't think I'll be able to fit it all in this video. I'll be making a listed video of 10 major changes to No Man's Sky Next that will come later in this week as well, which will be more focused and will explore the new additions in greater detail. But for now, I just want to share my initial impressions and feelings about the update, because I know you will want to know what I think about it, of course. To begin with, the game just feels massively different, to the point sometimes where it feels almost like a different game, which is great. It's great. Overall, this is a great thing, and in a few weeks, I'm sure that I'll never question that the game used to be any different, but right off the bat, picking the game up, I was very much thrown by a lot of the additions and the changes. The elementary changes are drastic. Core elements such as iron and thanium have been removed altogether or replaced with an entirely new system for charging basic life support systems, starship refueling, etc. This was jarring and difficult to learn at first, but it all makes sense. If you're just coming into No Man's Sky for the first time, all of the changes to the elements, the crafting systems, they all make so much sense compared to what they used to be. You know, you now gather oxygen from plants in order to resupply your oxygen and your life support, as opposed to thanium or wherever it was before. This is a logical thing to do, and something that now you think about it is like, why was this not in there before? And something that new players should hopefully find easier to associate crafting with. Elements realistically fit their purpose now. For example, nitrogen now acting as the primary ingredient in fuel-based materials, and uranium for launch thrusters. Overall, despite the system being very different to what it was, it definitely works, and I'm sure that it will become second nature to me and other No Man's Sky players who played before very soon. The general balance of crafting has taken a shift too, and for the better, I believe. In some ways it is more challenging, and in others more simple. It's more streamlined but involves a range of steps in order to craft now that attempts to remove the grindiness that permeated the core gameplay previously. Yes, of course, you still have to stand still and mine a bit here and there, but it's less of bulk mining the same resource for 5 minutes and the mind-numbing repetitiveness of standing there staring at a tree for hours on end, and more of searching for the right resource in the first place, collecting it, combining it, using a refinery to produce new materials from it, even using the terrain manipulator now to obtain depository elements such as copper, which again is a simple but effective way of breaking up the repetitiveness of the mining. There's a lot to learn, a lot, but you never feel like you're doing the same thing too often, which is always a great thing in my books. By dividing the resources up, it also allows you more purpose to staying on a planet for longer. If you land on a planet and have no thruster fuel left, then you will have to go and search high and low for uranium to take off again, or set off to combine and craft different elements to allow you to do so. Each challenge presents itself in an interesting way. Okay, right, oh god, that was just all on mining. So let's get into the exciting stuff now, and then we'll get back into the nitty gritty. So the exciting stuff, obviously. Terrain variety has been massively improved to a level that I don't think any of us could have ever imagined beforehand. Extended draw distances, beautiful new cloud tech, refinements to color palettes, density of foliage, scales of plants and creatures, animations for fauna, dangerous flora now exists, ringed planets, improved level of detail filtering, entirely new biome types, genuine mountains, continents and ocean formations, bump map tessellation on ground surfaces. All of this works together to improve the overall look and feel of the game in a way that I could not have imagined happening. This, along with new creature sounds and the outstanding 65 Days of Static soundtrack, make No Man's Sky come to life in a way that I could only have dreamed of. Boring planets aren't boring anymore. You rarely, if ever, find planets that look unappealing or have nothing on them of some sort of interest. Just Jared, another amazing content creator, has been featuring a lot about the treasure hunting mechanic that's been implemented as well. I haven't personally touched on that at all, but I'd love to start exploring that feature more very soon. To summarize, you actually have to now start using your analysis visor to scan for hidden items on planets, whether it is salvageable technology, creepy but rewarding eggs, or even hidden treasures worth millions. This feature on its own makes exploring on foot a much more appealing way of playing the game. And now you can do all of this in third person. I personally still kind of prefer playing in first person where I can, as that to me is always how No Man's Sky is meant to feel and meant to be played, but I do love going to third person for starships in particular, as you can actually see how awesome your ship looks in space and just get a sense of scale, as well as switching to third person on a planet every now and again to fully appreciate the massive sense of scale when you're on planets in this game, and obviously see my character. Third person offers a perspective that was previously unavailable, and seeing your character, your own character that you've customized walking around, makes the game feel less lonely and more of a personal endeavor. I appreciate the overall streamlined approach to the game now. Some hardcore veteran players may not like the focused and slightly more accessible approach to introducing gameplay mechanics, but I think that overall this is a very smart move by Hello Games. In all honesty, I never touched a lot of No Man's Sky before, purely because of how painfully out of reach a lot of it was. Freighters were too expensive, base building was kind of a chore and took too long to become fully functional, blueprints were hard to obtain in a lot of cases, but now everything is made available much quicker, and instead of locking everything behind doors that are really far away, it gives you a taste of everything early on and allows you to choose what you want to focus on from the beginning. Do you want to focus on just upgrading your weapons? Well, there's a weapons merchant at every station, as is an exosuit and starship merchant, along with missions and a free character customization module from the very beginning, meaning you can make your character look however you want right from the start, which I love. The game went from being a shallow ocean at launch to a really deep river with lots of things to do but a very linear way of experiencing it, to now fully developing into a deep ocean, allowing you to decide early on how you want to play with the plethora of opportunities that the game has to offer and what you personally want to achieve in No Man's Sky. And one of the best parts of this all is that you can now do this with a friend, which makes that development even more rewarding and satisfying. I've started playing with my buddy who never played No Man's Sky before and literally bought it as I was explaining the update to him over PS4 voice chat, and we've already decided to work our way towards finding a planet that we want to live on and establishing our hold on a certain part of the galaxy. We could have chosen to head to the center, to wage wars against enemy factions, to become traders traveling from system to system, which we can still always do by the way, but we've decided to find a home and expand our reach to neighboring galaxies in the process. Will we wage wars in the future with an armada of battle cruisers at our side? Well, we certainly could. To summarize base building is now epic. I know this video is running quite long, so I just want to summarize that base building is epic. In terms of issues, there is kind of, from what I've found so far, only one major issue for me, and that is, despite the clouds looking genuinely incredible, and I know that volumetric cloud rendering is a tough piece of code to implement into any game, let alone a procedurally generated game where you can fly up and through them at will, the thing that gets me about them is how almost sickeningly fast they move. I don't know if it's because I have been feeling ill this week, but I feel like the clouds honestly move too fast on some planets, like too fast, to the point that they make me feel a bit motion sick just seeing them. I'm trying to walk around and enjoy the calmness of this serene game, but all I can see in my peripheral vision is a mutating sky moving at 100,000 miles an hour above me. I hope this is toned down slightly as the cloud tech is generally improved over time, but at the moment I find it all a bit too much. And I know that the speed and the shapes of the clouds varies between planets, but I feel like there should be a cap. It makes everything seem unchill. Sometimes it's all a bit too much. As quickly as an incredible cloud formation forms, it disintegrates. You're basically looking at the sky and you're like, oh wow, look at the cloud. Oh, okay, they're gone. Oh, okay. And it's moving too fast. Basically, the speed of the clouds, I feel it needs to calm down. Also, it's kind of hilarious as well when you fly into space and not far away enough from the planet that it looks like a sphere of cotton candy is hovering around the planet. It's slightly odd. Just a note, nothing game breaking, and as I say, something I'm sure that Hello Games will fix soon. The concept is fantastic and they look incredible. Just a few tweaks and it will be perfect. So that's it, everyone. These are my initial thoughts on No Man's Sky Next. And as I say, I've just touched the surface. There's so much to talk about, and I will make a more detailed list on 10 major core functions that have changed in the game that will come later this week. But for now, please do leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. What do you think of No Man's Sky Next now you've got your hands on it? What are your favourite additions from the new update? And what about it are you unsure of? What is the most exciting and interesting thing you've seen or done so far? Let me know in the comments below, and you'll stand a chance of being featured in my Things People Say About Next series that is going to be restarting later this week in a post-Next world. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed, and do subscribe to join me on this journey if you haven't done so already. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video.